back with World of Warships, and actually finally I have a new computer, and here we are with the New Mexico. No introductions needed. Those that are subscribed know my channel, so the new computer hopefully will give a lot more potency to my videos. And here in New Mexico, already scoring 2 very good Citadel hits. And against this Atago, actually, I was very surprised to be able to be scoring such good hits. I was actually thinking of being very cautious, and Mr. Tirpitz here in front of me, I thought he would be taking the brunt of the attack, not me. Took another couple of volleys off the other Tirpitz since the Atago did disappear. My friend Tirpitz is firing on North Carolina with some mixed results. I also decided to fire on North Carolina, consider we're separated by about 2 tiers. I hit the Tirpitz, though no damage, so that was unfortunate. But I have to say that in the New Mexico, I've loved playing with it. I can't explain why. Out of all the battleships I've played, I just feel extremely comfortable with it. I do see shots coming in here from the Tirpitz. I try to turn to minimize the damage, and effectively I get completely missed. I do see the Atago finally coming up, and I think it's my sworn duty to go and kill it, given already the 2 Citadel hits I had scored. So I fire with my 2 front guns. I think I might have thought of firing all together. And the Atago is not moving, which actually presents for an excellent target. So I hit another Citadel, but then again the Atago, of course, I should have thought of this, moves on. Did not stop for a long time after being Citadeled. Mr. Tirpitz is missing me from a distance. It's understandable, 18 kilometers is a big distance. I think Mr. Mutsuki is going to be finishing the Atago, so I consider switching targets. Though I'm a bit confused about the Tirpitz. I wanted to hit it, but then it disappeared. And then I see a Fuso to my right, 11 kilometers away. I think that's a prime target. Tier 6 versus Tier 6, that's perfect. Finally, I'm not engaging higher tier ships. So full salvo. Fuso is our perfect position. And boom! That's some really great damage. 30k damage, all in one shot. A little bit more, and I could have one-shot the Fuso, which would have been very impressive. And it is also for these reasons that I really enjoy playing the New Mexico. Citadeling people comes with ease with this ship, or at least it could be just me that I really enjoy playing with it. Anyway, the Fuso doesn't appear to have altered course, so I decided to take another volley off, and it seems to be smack on target. And there we go. Another Citadel and Fuso totally annihilated. At this point, with the Atago and the Fuso completely out of the way, I see North Carolina and Tirpitz. I'm slightly concerned because there are 2 higher tier battleships than me, and I think I'd need a little bit of support, though the Mutsuki is to the left, and I know that behind me there are some other supporting ships. For some obscure reason, it appears that North Carolina is not moving, so, well, I decide to fire full broadside because, hey, why not? And I'm just really surprised North Carolina is not moving. And once again, no Citadels, but hey, 6,000 plus 5,000, that's another 11k damage. On a tier 8 ships, considering that I'm tier 6, I'll take that any day. Finally, the North Carolina driver apparently notices that it's time to move. And I would need to be moving too, as the island here is approaching, so I won't be able to use my full broadside, but I really want to fire these last 2 salvos. Well, not 2 salvos, like my 2 front guns. And now it's gonna basically, I'm gonna be shielded from their shots behind this island, so I'm feeling relatively safe. I see Mr. Mutsuki that is advancing on our left-hand side. And yes, there's a Tirpitz and the North Carolina. North Carolina is down to half health. I have my 4 repairs. My normal repair is coming up in 40 seconds. I'm feeling quite comfortable. I see the Tirpitz, a Colorado, so I'm feeling very well supported. I'm a bit more concerned that nobody might not be sneaking on us from A. Anyway, North Carolina is still moving backwards. I have no idea why. I don't know what he was thinking. Anyway, still get some decent shots. 5,000, 6,000 damage, I'll take that. Considering he's 2 tiers higher than me, I see it very far away Tirpitz. And here I'm in a bit of an inconvenient position. I have 2 choices. Either I expose my broadside, though I'll have to turn all my turrets, or I move in front of the island and then turn left so as to expose my broadside without moving my turrets. I think that was a debatable choice. I think that if I had acted before, it would have been smarter to just swing my cannons around rather than do what I'm doing right now, which seemed relatively ineffective. Though there's now two Tirpitz that are pretty much at the same distance. And as I see that we have a Mutsuki, Tirpitz and a Colorado allied here with me, I honestly do not see the point of charging forward to the Tirpitz to my left. And I think it's better that I cover the right flank. So I see the Tirpitz moving, and I try to fire off a couple of shots, just to get an idea of the range, if I'm leading, if I'm lagging. Let's say to get an idea. So I get some hits, 1000 damage, nothing much. The other shots miss completely, but I'm pretty much determined to go in and brawl with the Tirpitz. Also because that Mutsuki is just lingering around, and I was honestly hoping, rather than going for the cap, it would just go like for the enemy Tirpitz, since like we're by points we're leading by quite a lot. Anyway, I try to find my position again. First the Tirpitz, always firing armor piercing. After the first salvo, I had a half idea of switching to HE, just because I'm not exactly sure how much penetration I can hope to have against the Tirpitz, which is 2 tiers higher than me. But after seeing that 4000 damage, I decided to stick with my armor piercing rounds, and here the Colorado is essentially going to be acting as a bit of a tank. It has bigger guns, so I'm just hoping that this Colorado is going to basically take the lion's share of the damage and effectively leave me as a support. Here maybe I should have aimed my armor piercing directly lower on the waterline. But anyway, still some pretty good shots, 5000 damage on a 2 tiers higher than me ship. I'll take that any day. So more, of course, I just keep going for it. And I see the other Tirpitz approaching, but I don't see the point of switching targets. I think we're better off trying just to kill one Tirpitz at a time, rather than dilute our damage in two. Anyway, in general, the battle is pretty much going in our favor. I see the Tirpitz moving to the right, and I see the Colorado broadsiding him, so I think it's time to change target. And yeah, I was about to say that essentially the battle is greatly turning in our favor, but already from before. And so I'm not feeling any kind of pressure whatsoever. I know that probably getting closer and closer to the Tirpitz as a New Mexico is probably not going to be the most effective of solution, but at this point of the game, there's absolutely no other targets. There's plenty of other ships supporting me, so I'm not really feeling particularly compelled to veer away and you know, just go away. Well, anyway. I keep firing my, although I do not want to take risks, so I will not be exposing my broadside, or at least I will do it, but only for very, very, very brief periods of time. So you see I slightly open my angle, and then immediately I push so as to be in a T position, basically being perpendicular to Mr. Trevel. Trevel, that's a pretty interesting name. Mr. Trevel, if you're seeing this video, I don't know what the chances are, but you have a good name, sir, so I'll take it. Anyway, as we can see, the enemy Tirpitz is basically turning. I'm not exactly sure who he's trying to avoid. Probably not my shots. He's probably more preoccupied by the Colorados or the other Tirpitz behind me. He was just assessing who's actually behind me. He's making a full swing left. Turrets will need to readjust, and, well, too late. Because the match actually ends. And so I actually get a ton of credit, 172,000. Yeah, some mission there, 2,500 EXP. Boosted because it was the first win of the day, but I actually get 1,700, which I think is going to be, well, excellent. A grand total of over 100k damage, which I find very, very good considering I was the lower tier in this bracket. And well, guys, this was overall just to show you how my new computer is handling World of Warships on very high settings. I hope you did enjoy it. If there's anything you want to let me know in the comments, please do. I'm going to basically be restarting the series now in January, so I all hope you tune in and join and essentially enjoy the game with me. Having said that, Fraxon over and out.